I am a mapper. Not a good one, but I am. For the map that I'm currently working on, I wanted some bonuses, and I had the bright idea of getting new people to do them for me. So I reached out to a couple of lands and I got 5 people to make bonuses for my new map. 4 of those people never touched Hammer before in their entire life, and the other one did map already, but has nothing released publicly yet. I will be going through the mappers' personal problems on their journey and show you in the end what they have created. But before we begin, let me first introduce you to my personal slaves. We've got Ploxel, the hammer connoisseur, Snowhill, the casual tech enjoyer, Trick, the special one, Sadfrown, the god gamer, and Snowlab, the silent boy. What type of bonus did you go for when you made it?
Um, well, I was going for a very simple bonus to learn Hammer. I had like 8 months before you asked us to make bonuses. I had already started trying to learn Hammer. Didn't really work out, but in that time I doodled in MS Paint like a simple ID that I wanted to make for a stage, and that turned out to be the bonus for your map, which you can so beautifully see at the start of the bonus, of course.
This doodle Ploxel is talking about is a little sketch that he made before he created the bonus, as you can see here. Let's just say I'm glad he's not Austrian, otherwise we would be having new problems in the future. What was easier or harder than you thought?
At first, before I got into Hammer, I definitely thought that making the surf and ramps and flow and stuff was gonna be the hardest.
What were your problems with Hammer?
Before I knew anything about Hammer, I definitely thought it would be harder than it
Alright.
actually was. Like it's like big Legos, virtual Legos.
I
It's
mean,
not some very super complex 3D modeling program, right?
true, true. It does look intimidating at first though.
Yeah, that is definitely true. But yeah, there were a lot of things like optimization, light, those kinds of stuff. Those were some headaches. Yeah, getting props to properly look right with the lighting.
Oh yeah. Alright. Alright.
Um, yeah, debugging compile errors, very fun.
Very fun. Hammer overall very fun program. Would recommend.
Very fun. Yeah, exactly. 10 out of 10.
Don't do Hammer, kids. So the last thing I want to ask you is if you were to rate your own bonus on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give yourself?
Solid 6 out of 10.
All right, a 6 out of 10. All right.
It's two jumps. It's not very super extremely original, but it is kind of fun to grind for a bit. At least I thought, and some other people thought. I've seen them do it,
All right.
but it doesn't have that much replayability, and it's kind of boring to look at. So 6 out of 10.
Now, what my little lab rats don't know is that I've asked a couple of people to play their bonuses and give me a rating. Let's see what the testers had to say about bonus 1. One tester said that he likes the drawing in the beginning, but that it does not look as good as his first doodle. Oh lord. This is just say eyes. I'm not even sure what this is supposed to represent, but you need therapy and a lot less hammer. Another tester said only 1 out of 10. Reason? Has a rainbow in it. Clearly supports the gaze. In total, the rating averaged out to a 6.5 out of 10. Let's move on to the next. Done. Okay. So, my first question would be, what type of bonus did you go for?
Uh, I prefer attack maps, so I
I like
wanted
that.
to, yeah, I wanted to do attack bonus. That was my plan, and worked out quite well, I would say.
Yes? I mean, tech is of course superior to everything else.
Yeah, fuck unit surf.
What was easier or harder than you thought?
Uh, I would say using hammer in general was easier than I thought.
Okay.
After looking a couple of the top head waffle videos prior to using hammer for the first time, it looked super complicated, but turned out to be actually quite simple. At least the basics.
Of course. What were your problems with Hammer?
uh, I wouldn't say I've had any problems in general, except for getting lighting to look good.
Alright.
That is I don't know how people do that. but
Lighting is
still now lighting, I can't get it done properly. That was definitely the biggest problem.
lighting is definitely my least favorite thing to do as well.
Yeah, and I guess optimizing the bonus.
Did you have to
So,
optimize a lot on your bonus?
Well, I was using the ancient technique of cutting instead
Okay.
of the vertex tool. But yeah, once we all figured out how it worked, fixing it didn't take too long.
One question out of the ordinary, because I just have to ask this. This is very important. Would you rather have a lobster or a caterpillar as a pet? Just answer the question. You don't have to explain.
I take the lobster.
All right, Team Lobster. Let me write that down. If you were to rate your own bonus on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give yourself? Objectively.
And being the best, I assume?
Yes.
Probably a 5.
Right in the middle.
Yeah, I think it's not too bad, right? There's a lot worse stuff in Surf than my bonus, but there's also a lot of better stuff, right?
Sadly for him, the testers do not really agree by only giving him a 3.5 out of 10. Most of the testers stated that they have gotten depression from this bonus. So play at your own risk. I think it's a lot better than 3.5 out of 10, but what do I know? I mean, I made Surf Surf after all. The next person on our list is the special one. Now he was a very interesting guy to work with, because every time we sat in a Discord call and started mapping on whatever we were mapping on, he was basically never there. Now, normally I would ask these guys to show me a bit of their progress every now and again when we were in Discord, but since he wasn't there, I messaged him if he could maybe send me like a little video of what he had already created. I am just going to show you what he sent me. When I tried to get even more information out of him afterwards because he still wouldn't show up, he just kept sending me that picture. Over and over again. No idea why he was so busy all the time. He might have just been distracted by Satfrown. Everybody had like a month or two to create their bonus. I'm pretty sure it was even longer than that. And when the deadline was approaching, I messaged them and here's what he said. In the end, I did get stuff from him, and it turns out that the bonus that he made looked completely different to what he had sent me earlier. He basically decided to start over. The testers gave this a 3 out of 10. Their main complaints were the ramp bug on the first ramp, that it was too dark, and of course the Among Us characters in the end. On to the next person we go. The first question is, what type of bonus did you go for?
I went for a B4 type bonus, except I didn't want to make it too hard so that not many people played it. However, it being on 64 tick didn't end up getting many completions, but still.
Going easy on the noobs, I see. I like it.
Yes.
The poor surfers around here.
I tried for the not so sweaty. However, I think it only has 5 completions or so now.
I have a confession to make.
Oh.
During the getting the showcase together of the map and the bonuses, I had to serve the map and the bonuses on like an 85 tick server, and your bonus your bonus took me, I think, 15 minutes on 85 tick. It was embarrassing. That's what the average mapper does nowadays as well. They do the surf part, and then when they need to detail, they just leave hammer.
Yeah, I think that's kind of probably what put me off a little bit. It's so hard to be creative, you know?
Yes.
Especially when you're seeing maps by, Maz and whatnot, and they've got all these insane textures and it looks so nice.
That's why you just steal them.
I'm original. I would never steal.
What were your problems with Hammer, or what gave you a hard time?
I think my main issue is keeping stuff on grid, especially with the issue of the little incident of having a ramp too far to the left compared to the other ramps,
I
which
see.
I did luckily spot before we released it, so that is fixed and fine. But keeping stuff on grid for me was a little, I guess I didn't truly understand it.
If you were to rate your own bonus from a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give it? Objectively.
Objectively, what does that entail?
Take a step
Like,
back, take a look at your bonus, and just imagine you're seeing that for the first time. No one's associated with it. You just see this. What would you give it?
I'd say 4 out of 10.
Some testers gave bonus points just because of who made it. But actually, most of them decided not to play it at all because it was a B4 and it was impossible. So I guess that's, like a nothing out of 10? Yeah, nothing out of 10. Last but not least, we got Snowlab on bonus 5, and I called him the Silent Boy for a reason. That is because I've never heard him talk once in my entire life, so let me walk you through his bonus. He had the most crazy and ambitioned ideas with stuff like anti-gravs, right spins, and all that you can think of. He's also got the longest bonus by far. He gave himself a 4 out of 10 for this bonus. The testers had a really interesting opinion on this bonus because they either gave him like the full points or basically no points. Some stating that his creativity earned him all the points, while others were not so fond of his ideas. In total averaging out to a 4 out of 10, which makes him the only guy who guessed his rating correctly. Someone who has played Surf before might have noticed that there are actually 6 bonuses on the map, yet I only have covered 5. I originally started with 6 people, but after a few weeks into the project he decided to just leave, which to be fair is an outstanding move. I probably would have done the same if I was forced to use Hammer. So our bonus 6 guy got replaced by Kraken Daddy, who made the bonus instead. There is a bit of bonus content awaiting you at the end, which is basically just me talking to the people a bit more if you want to listen. If you don't want to stay for the bonus content, then the video ends here, so please fuck off and I'll see you in 5 months.
I have to say though, it was a 10-10 learning experience.
Oh yeah.
Like you took the initiative to organize it, right?
Yes.
Ask some noobs to learn Hammer, and
Take you
that
under
was
my
actually,
wing.
yeah, it was actually really fun to have like we were often in these Discord calls together, right?
Oh yes,
Figuring
yes.
stuff out together, and yeah, it was a really fun experience. Yeah, really cool. Let's do it again. Somewhere in
Let's
2025
do it again.
or
Let's
so.
use Hammer more. Please. Oh.
No, we're definitely gonna wait for Hammer 2, right?
Yes, Hammer 2 really soon.
It's gonna be great, right? It's gonna
gonna
solve
be
all our
yeah.
problems. Copium.
It's gonna make Hammer the best program ever. It's gonna be like a Trackmania editor, right? It's gonna make it super easy. Just place RAMs from presets.
Oh my god. Please let there be surf plugin.
Yes.
Yeah, you trick. Fuck you. What are you doing, man? You waited till there was 2 days left before you continued.
He loves you.
He just ignored it for 3 weeks, and then he came in last second and he butchered it. He's got a ramp bug. What is he doing?
And Grannis also explains it very, very clean and simple. On the other hand, you have like King Curtis, right? He scares me even more. I think King Curtis actually has the biggest brain in the mapping scene. Because when he like tries to explain you something, I realize how much of an ape I am. Because I just don't get it. Alright.
How did you like it, Ancient? Like working with total noobs?
It was very interesting, you know? I mean, like being in a call with so many of you and just like answering all those questions was a unique experience. Was really nice, I must say. But also really stressful, you know? Because I'd wake up and the Discord group where all of us were in there, you know, with like 70 messages of like error logs and stuff. I was like, oh no, here we go again.
I remember that.